All right, welcome back, everyone. We've got uh, another fascinating Premier League matchup to dive into today.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to this one.
It's Ipswich Town taking on Manchester United at Portman Road.
Oh, yeah, big clash of styles here, right? You've got huge, newly promoted Ipswich, desperate for that first home win, going up against a Manchester United side looking to, well, reclaim their place among the league's elite.
Right, and they've got new management, so it's a whole new dynamic, really, for both sides.
Absolutely.
So let's start with Ipswich. They're coming off a big win, right, against Tottenham last week.
Yeah, their first victory of the season. I bet that was a huge boost for them.
It must have been, especially after, struggling to find their footing early on. And you know that's interesting. The last time Ipswich managed back-to-back wins in the Premier League, it also started with a win against Tottenham,
No kidding. When was that?
way back in the 2001-02 season.
Wow, so you're saying history could repeat itself.
It's possible, right? But it's going to be tough.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, let's face it, they are the only Premier League team without a home win so far this
Yeah,
season.
that's not a good sign, is it?
And historically, those newly promoted teams that can't get a win at home in their first 6 matches, well, they often end up facing relegation.
Oof. Yeah, the dreaded drop.
Exactly,
And
yeah.
to make things even tougher, they're facing a Manchester United team that, well, has a pretty dominant record against promoted sides.
Yeah, and it's not just pretty dominant, it's actually pretty ridiculous. 19 matches unbeaten against newly promoted teams.
19.
17 wins and 2 draws. And get this, they've won their last 9 away games against such teams.
Wow.
Well,
That's impressive.
It really is. I mean, the only team with a longer streak in recent history was Chelsea from 2002 to 2008.
Okay, so Manchester United clearly knows how to handle a newly promoted team.
They do. And they've got a new manager now, Ruben Amorim.
Right, and he's the youngest manager for Manchester United since 1969.
Imagine that, taking on that job at such a young age. Talk about pressure.
He's inheriting a team that's on a 4-match unbeaten streak, though, thanks to Ruud van Nistelrooy, their interim manager before him.
Right. And they've got key players like Kobbie Manu, Lenny Yoro, and Luke Shaw, all back from injury. So he actually has a nearly full-strength squad to work with for the first time in, get this, 18 months.
So, a lot of potential there.
Yeah, loads of it. And this really raises the question, can Amorim capitalize on this momentum? Can he usher in a new era of success for Manchester United? His age is a big factor here, I think.
Yeah, how so?
Well, will he be more willing to, take risks, shake things up?
I see what you mean. It'll be fascinating to see how that plays out.
For sure. And how will his relative youth impact the dynamics within a squad that's used to, more experienced leadership?
Yeah, it's definitely a storyline to follow. And speaking of interesting dynamics, one key battle to watch out for in this match is going to be Ipswich's Axel Tuanzebe up against Manchester United's Alejandro Garnacho.
Oh, yeah, I saw that on the team sheet. What's interesting there is that Tuanzebe is actually a former Manchester United player.
Right.
And those matches, when a player goes up against his old club, there's always a bit more drama, isn't there?
Totally. Especially in this case. Tuanzebe has been booked in his last 2 games, so he's walking a bit of a disciplinary tightrope.
He is, and he's going up against Garnacho, who's, he's really making a name for himself. He's only the second non-British player, after Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, to contribute to 20 Premier League goals for United before turning 21.
Wow, that's some pretty elite company.
It is. So you've got experience versus youthful exuberance. I'm really interested to see how that matchup plays out.
Me too. And to add even another layer of intrigue to all of this, Manchester United are aiming for back-to-back wins at Portman Road for only the 2nd time ever.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So much history between these two clubs.
Tons. So with so much at stake for both sides, this is shaping up to be a really memorable encounter.
It really is. Can Ipswich pull off the upset? Can they get that elusive first home win against a historically dominant opponent? Or will Manchester United, with their new manager and this sort of revitalized squad, will they continue their impressive form?
Well, we'll all find out soon enough. But for now, I'm curious to hear what our listeners think. Who do you think will come out on top in this match? Let us know your predictions.
Yeah, and tell us why.
Exactly. We'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See you then.